All right, awesome. So, hi guys. So excited for this. I'm so happy that Allie wanted to do this. I'm so excited to hear her talk. Her story's awesome. She has all the tips. You guys can literally thank her for our brand new team page. I'm super excited about it. We launched our little band page thing today, and I'm obsessed. I think it's so much fun. And my team's loving it already. So we're going to go ahead and just dive in really quick. Can you just tell us who you are, a little bit about your story? I know you said you've kind of had like an up and down journey, and this is not your first network marketing company. So I'm very excited to hear you talk about it. So go ahead and take it away, girlfriend. I'll mute myself so you can't.
Awesome. And can you hear me okay, or is the fan going? You can hear me? Okay. Hi guys, my name is Allie Carter. I am 31 years old. I live up here right outside of Boston, Massachusetts. And I'm kind of a senior, I don't know what the right word is, but I've been around network marketing for a really long time. Not only personally, but my father has been in it since I was like a wee baby. So I've been around network marketing, MLMs for literally my entire life. So when I first got started, it only seemed natural for me to make this as an adult. My first foray into it was I sold knives, Cutco knives, when I was 16 years old. And then I went to college. I did all of the right things. I got good grades. I went to a good business school. I got a job right out of college, actually working for my dad. We have a marketing company, which is my full-time job. But I racked up a ton of debt, and I racked up a ton. I had such crazy student loans. And I always had a second job, and I was bartending 25 to 30 hours a week. And my husband and I are together 10 years this month actually, but we've been married for almost 2. And we were living this great life, but I was always on the go, and I was always like rushing. I would bartend like a couple nights a week, and then I would bartend a full day on the weekend. So I was constantly choosing between, do I skip work and take the day off and have fun, or do I work and make the money I need to like get out of debt? And it was always a struggle and a battle. And I was happy, but I was miserable at the same time because I felt like constantly pulled in different directions. So in October of 2017, I joined an essential oil network marketing company. And I really tried to get into it, but I am not earthy crunchy at all. And I tried to heal myself with oils, and I tried to do all the things, and I tried to make the oils work so much. I ended up spending like 3 times in what I made. And because they didn't have the option for you to run an auto ship or be qualified with sales. You always had to run an auto ship. And like with oils, they don't run out. So like, it's like a little drop here or there. So I was like, it was a constant struggle, and I didn't understand how the growth worked. And I understand charting. I get it. It makes sense in my mind. And it just didn't make sense. And I was also engaged at the time. So then in October-ish of 2017, I had been doing this for probably like 6 months or so at this point, and I was really kind of fizzling out with it. And a girl reached out to me on Instagram, and she was like, hey, are you interested in products? The whole spiel that we use. And I was looking to lose weight for the wedding, and I was like, okay, yeah, I want to buy products, but I am never, ever joining your team. I refuse. I do not like it works. I am anti-joining. I'm in another company, and I love it. Essential oils are my life. And then I gave it another 6 months or so, and we started to become friends. And I had really fizzled out with the essential oils. I just couldn't spend any more money doing it, and I wasn't making any money. And I was so unhappy with myself at my bridal shower. I texted her that day, and I'm like, okay, I'm joining. like I'm in. I had to wait a couple more days to get paid. I joined. I went Ruby and I joined in May of 2018. I went Ruby in August of 2018. I earned the $1,000 bonus while we were on our honeymoon in Italy. I went Diamond the first time in March of 2019. And I say the first time because I don't really consider that going Diamond. I hit the rank, but then I lost rank like a month later. And it's because I pushed it too fast. I didn't have the team in place that I needed. I didn't have the culture that I needed. I didn't have the mental capacity that I needed to continue to grow. So I lost rank. I kept fighting for like fighting, constantly fighting to get back to Diamond. And I would barely maintain Ruby. And I just kept fighting that cycle for like 3 or 4 months. And then over the summer, I had a really busy summer and I just fizzled out completely. Like I was posting, I was doing the things, but my heart wasn't in it. And then I went to Green Carpet and I was like, okay, I'm either going to make this work or I'm not. And I'm either all in or I'm not. And I'm not a quitter. And I couldn't see myself saying, okay, this is my second network marketing company and quitting again. And, being so public about everything and then just being like, JK, I'm done with this one too. And I was like, bye. So I just couldn't see myself doing that. And I wasn't going to let myself down again. So I went all in. And I made a really conscious choice. Actually, my Diamond, soon to be double, is on here. And I made a really conscious choice to build her first and not maintain my rank. And Caitlin, we've talked about this. I made a really conscious plan to build her first to Diamond because I knew as soon as she went Diamond, I would be able to maintain Diamond really easily. And then I'd be able to go double and then we'd be able to go triple and further together. So it's really funny because she went Ruby in January of this year. And then she went Emerald the following month, Steph. Yeah. March, she went Emerald. And then in April, she went Diamond. And I was paid as an executive in March and paid as a Diamond in April. And yeah, she double promoted in March. Yes, that's right. No, double promoted in April because we went Diamond in April, whatever. But she double promoted. I was paid as an executive in March, and then I gave myself a $1,200 raise in April. And it's because I made that conscious decision to build strong roots and focus where I had the runner. And then I focused on once she was Emerald and pushing for Diamond, I could focus that. So in April, I was able to focus on, in March and April, I was able to focus on my other leg to be able to get that Emerald going and get that Ruby and get that Emerald going so that I could go reclaim Diamond in April and then go double in May. And it was just that like methodical way of building and taking the hits for the short term to be able to have the long-term gains is really what I find impressive about my team and our story, because we build strong and we don't promote to promote, we promote to make it and grow. And I never push promotions. I never promote for the sake of a bonus. We promote to be able to have that income and we build strong roots. But yeah, so here I am. We maintained last month. We've maintained every month so far. I maintained Diamond on like the 20th of the month, which was like unheard of for me. I maintained double by the skin of our teeth last night, but we did it. And then but this month we have to rebuild. And we have to do a lot of rebuilding because we have to do a lot of stacking. And, I wiped the charts clean and I said, okay, this is what we need to do. And I actually had a call with my leaders right before this. And I said, this is where we're at, and this is what we're doing, and this is how we all need to level up. And it was a really raw, real conversation where I just laid it all out for them, and I called myself out and I called them out, and we just kind of, we're going for it, and we're going to rechart this month, and then we're going to push for triple in August. And I want to throw up a little bit, but we're going to go for it. And I do this all on top of my full-time job, and I do this all on top of my full-time life and family and friends. And I don't know, I make it work.
I love that so much. So I already know the answer to this. A lot of the things I'm going to ask you, obviously we've talked about, but what's your color personality?
My color is yellow, red, green-ish. Actually, I think it's actually more blue than green. So I am a loving leader, but I'm also super red in the stance where like I want to shake people really hard and I have to pull it back a little bit.
Yeah.
But I lead with love. I lead with like encouragement and being super proud of people, but I'm also not afraid to call people out and tell them and shake them and give them a kick in the butt, whether they need it or whether they ask for it or not. But I can also say to them, okay, what do you need from me? Do you need loving or do you need a kick in the butt? And I can do either.
Yeah. So how do you feel like, is that just something that comes naturally to you, or is that something you have kind of had to develop over time? Because, obviously not everybody comes into this business with the background, I guess, that you do in network marketing, growing up around it, your dad being in it, all those things. So, how do you feel like you constantly, basically like what's your personal development? How do you make sure that you, amidst all the things, are getting what you need for you, so then you can in turn be that loving leader to your team?
That's a really good question. So I'm a really strong leader. I'm a really strong motivator, but I wasn't always able to give myself what I needed to be able to give to others. And that's why when I went diamond the first time, I don't really call it going diamond because I wasn't leading the way I needed to lead to grow. So I really, after green carpet and after really starting the end of last year, the beginning of this year, I really forced myself every single day to take the time to read some self-development. The Super Attractor book has changed my life completely. It's by Gabrielle Bernstein, and it's completely changed the game for me. I'm actually reading another one of her books now about the universe has your back. And then I read a couple, like I'll read a book, but then I have one that I'm listening to if I'm in the car or on a walk or something. Um, so I have like different things that I go to. Sometimes I also will just like throw on Grant Cardone or another like male author that reads a book if I need a little bit bigger of a push. But I really focus, like I've always been a good leader, but I had to learn how to be, and I've been talking about this a lot. I feel like I've said this 30 times today. I had to learn to be the distributor that I wanted on my team before I could expect others to be that distributor. And that's what I needed to figure out first. And that's where I think the switch flipped is I really needed to figure out who I was and become like, I've never been a super, like I'm not a mouse and roller. I'm like a solid steps to successor. And I had to figure out how to be consistent and not just lead, but also lead from the front. And that's what's made me a better leader because I can't say to my team, you guys need to do all these things if I'm not doing it too. And that's made me a better leader. And I've consistently since March signed like 10 to 15 loyal customers because I'm actively working my business. And I also make time to work my business. And that's super important. Like I was talking to Steph about it right before this, where we're going to start implementing Sabbath days and just being able to take time for ourselves and our families. But we're both such control freaks that we're making sure that one of us we're not like overlapping days. So I am learning to take more time for myself to avoid burnout. And I'm learning to fill my cup more, whether that's a combination of self-development, going to bed early. Like, I'm not a night owl. I'm a morning person. So going to bed early, I use that time I spend time with my husband. And because we both work from home, but we do our own things. So when we go to bed early, that's our time together. And really just like making sure that I'm filling my cup up in every way possible so that I can continue to pour out to others and motivate others, but also making sure that I'm taking the time to build my business, which is why I get up so early. So
So good. I love that. So obviously, because you again, I feel like you have an extensive like background of like what it takes to be successful. You saw your dad do it. This isn't your first go around. You know how important self-development is. You work from home, it's your regular job, your regular job. So what are some like non-negotiable, because like if you don't have like, I know you said you wake up a little earlier, is there like a specific thing you do right when you wake up, or like do you just have things that you need to get done that day and you just mark them off whenever you have time? Like give me like a look into your day.
yeah, so I have some structure, but then I also have like no structure at all because my day always changes because what I do for my full time is customer service. So, and I also am the COO. So I have my father and my husband throwing things at me all day long and just having me do things for them. And so it can change at a dime. But I also have a lot of fun, which I'm grateful for, and my time is really my own. So every single day I wake up between 6 and 7. I always self-develop while I have my coffee. Then I haven't been good about it the past few weeks, but I'm getting back into it. Then I message. I put a post up and then I message, and then I put up some stories. Now the past like week, I go on a walk from 8 to 9. I chat with another sideline sister and we just kind of walk together, and that's been really good for everything, mind, body, soul. And then at 9 a.m. I am at my desk ready to work my full time. Throughout the day, like, I'm really busy, but if someone pops into my messages or someone from my team texts me, I'll respond to them. Um, I usually put up some stories around lunchtime, and then I always, between 4 and 5, I sort of end my day, and then I start messaging again. Fun fact, I don't cook at all. So my husband does all the cooking. So I'll message up until dinner. I usually pour a nice glass of wine and then I message up until dinner. And then I will clean up after dinner. And then I usually just get into bed because by that point it's like close to 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I will wait for him to come up to bed, and I'll usually like message or dick around on like TikTok or something. And then I use my like scrolling and interactive time then when I'm like, because I'm really not a night person by that point. Like, I have zero energy, and I don't like to message when I have zero energy because I feel like it's super important because it comes through in your messages. So I use like that evening hours to just like interact, and then I usually try the beginning of the month, I try to put up an interactive post or a giveaway post every other night. Sometimes I just do an interactive post just to like bump up my engagements and get people looking at my stuff. Sometimes I do a giveaway post. I'm not a big poster. I have gotten a lot up, but I don't love it. And I haven't been successful with it. Where my success comes from is messaging. So I stick with that. And then I like throughout the day, if I want to take a little break from my full time, then I'll add some people or message a little. But my non-negotiables are, I always get 2 to 3 posts up on Facebook. I always get a post up on Instagram. I have my Instagram and Facebook connected, so I always post my stories throughout the day, both life and cats and business. And then I always add people, but I usually do a lot of adding on the weekends. I don't know why, it's just when I have the most time. But yeah, so I have some structure, but a lot of it's just, it has to get done. Like, I equate it to, I don't have kids yet, but I equate it to caring for your kids. Like, no matter what, as a mother, you're going to care for your children. You're going to make sure they're fed. You're going to make sure they're clean and happy and whatever. You have to do the same thing for your business every single day, or it'll die. So.
I love that. So you're more of like a creature of habit rather than somebody who needs like a strict schedule. And I'm all for it. It's literally me, except half the time I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Hence why, you know, it was like a couple minutes late. Anyways, so yeah, I love that. So what is something that you feel like in regards to like staying close to the fire, doing personal development, like what is something that like everybody needs to know, like newbies, people in it for a long time, like what is just one tip in regards to like being consistent, staying close to all those things? Like what is a tip you would give on like the importance of it and like how to go about it, you know, and no excuses kind of thing? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I think there's a couple things. I think the first thing is avoiding burnout, and making sure that you are keeping like a 75 mile per hour pace. So like you're going at a good speed, but you're not going to like completely kill yourself. And I think that comes from like just being consistent every single day and understanding that every day you're planting seeds, and you're not going to harvest seeds the next day. Like that's not how it works. So every single day you're planting seeds, and every single day the more seeds you plant, the more you have to harvest from a few days before. So I think it's just like not avoiding burnout, planting those seeds, and just knowing that this is a long game. And that's what makes this business so legitimate, is we're in it for the, and there's no way to expedite that unless you hustle harder. And just, yeah, exactly. Know what you have to do and make sure that you don't give yourself the opportunity for excuses, because if you know what you have to do, then you have to just get it done. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just have to do it. And like, I'm not one of those people where I'm like, oh, well, I didn't get up this many posts today, or I didn't get up this many messages, so I won't go to sleep. Like, going to sleep is self-care for me. Going to sleep is making sure that I'm still a functioning human. And that's more important to me in the long run. So I'll go to sleep and then I'll say, okay, tomorrow I have to do extra. Or on the weekends, I usually do a lot more messaging because I have the extra time. I don't have a lot going on the weekends. So I get extra messages done on the weekends to make up for the week when I might have too much going on or I might be too busy. But I make sure that on a weekly basis, I'm getting out a ton of messages. I'm constantly adding to my follow-up list. I'm constantly growing my network. And it's just a non-negotiable. I mean, we signed up for a reason. You can't sign. It makes me crazy when people sign up and then they're like, oh, well, I'm too busy for this. I'm like, really? I'm like, I promoted to Ruby the month before I got married, and I planned my whole wedding myself. Like, really? Because I'm pretty sure there were people with more kids, more jobs, more life happening than you, and they can get it still done. And I'm also a big fan of talk is cheap. Like, put up or shut up, do it or don't, but get it done. And don't make excuses for it, because another thing is I've banned the word try from my team. Try or trying is a dirty word for our team, because to me, trying is failing forward, or not failing forward, failing backwards. Like, if you're going to try, you might as well not do it at all. You either do or you don't. And and I'm big on actions speak louder than words. Like, if you're going to tell me you're going to do something, great, do it.
So good. I love that. How you're like, you either do it or you don't. And guys, if you do it and you maybe don't get to where you want to be, that's failing forward. You're falling into the right direction because at least you did it. You may not have gotten the result that you wanted, but you did it. You didn't say, oh, I'll try to get on that Zoom. Like, guys, I have to be up tomorrow at 5 a.m. I'm going to be up tonight until like 11 o'clock and I'm going to get like 5 hours of sleep. It's fine.
It's
But
fine.
it's because I got things to do. Right.
Right.
And I'm not, there's no excuses to that. So, and this is kind of where I wanted to get like just the next thing I wanted to ask is, how important do you think it is to keep your goal, your vision, your why in front of you? Like if you lose sight of that, what is something that, somebody can do to kind of get that back? Or, what's the importance and all the things?
So I struggled with this a lot because I come from a good family. I went to a good school. I don't have a rough upbringing or a rough past. I just have a shit ton of debt. I just have a lot of debt. And I have an online shopping problem. Yeah. So I struggled with that for a long time because I felt like my why, I didn't have like a why that made you cry. Like I felt like I wasn't, not that I wasn't like, that I didn't struggle enough for this business, but I felt like I just wasn't, I don't know, I just didn't have a strong enough why. And then I realized I'm my why. I'm the reason I'm doing this. And this business has become so much more than about making money. The community and the glow up and the self development and who I've become has given me more than anything I could have ever imagined from just signing up to make a little extra money to pay off my debt. And the more I hustle and the more I grow and the more of a boss leader I become, the more money I make and the bigger my team gets. And that's become my why now. And I feel like when I look at my team and I have days where I'm just like, I don't want to do this today. I'm too tired. People are being mean. Mercury's in retrograde. The cat puked, like I just want to curl up in a ball. Like I I look at my team and I think I can't tell them to do this if I'm and not show up if I'm not willing to do the same. And it's become this point where my team has now become my why. And I think your why can ever evolve. I don't think you have to have one why. I think it can start as something and totally change to something else. But I think that if you keep just pushing, and like I said before, you make those non-negotiables and you just decide that you're going to stick with it and show up every single day, no matter what, rain or shine, then you're going to get there. And you just have to decide that you want it. And have the hard days, have the days where you just don't pick up your phone, have the days where you curl up in a ball, but the next day get back up. And I think that that's what the balance is, what's important. And I think that just keeping your eye on the prize of leading and growing and becoming a better person is just what it comes down to.
Yeah, no, it's so funny you say that because I actually just did a game plan Zoom with some girls on my team. And that's literally what we talked about. And for me, when I started, I've been in the business 5 years. And when I started, I literally thought the same thing. I was like, I don't come from, my family's really well off. My dad worked really hard to get where we are. Like, I went to school. I'm in a lot of debt. And I was like, and I don't want to be in debt anymore. And then I realized that, okay, like, so I started this for me. I started this to pay off debt. And when I went diamond, guys, there's a reason there's no bigger chart on eSuite besides diamond. Because after you go diamond, it's not about you anymore. So when you go diamond, the next thing you got to focus on is who in your downline's going diamond. And that's the chart you look at. You look at their diamond chart, not yours. Yep. Am I saying I don't look at like a double, triple, whatever chart? Yeah, I do. But at the end of the day, I update my chart way less than I update a girl on my team who's pushing for diamond. So, if you're still in this business and you're just starting in the business, and it's about you right now, that's okay. But you also need to start speaking into existence the things that you want later. And I love, Allie, what you said about how you should be the distributor that you want to enroll. And I literally say that all the time. If you would not enroll you, fix it. Fix it.
Yeah.
Because if you wouldn't enroll you, why are you acting like that?
Right.
Why? And your
yeah,
team's gonna follow it.
right. And if you don't have the energy or the hustle of
Mhm.
someone that you would want under you, like if I looked at myself some days last month, I would have said, "Girl, what the heck are you doing?"
Same,
And
totally.
I think I love that it's literally, it becomes so much more like, I hadn't talked about my own promotion until we went double, and I felt weird making it about me because I hadn't promoted in so long.
Mhm.
And I literally had a girl, I'll never forget it. It was like one of the last days of the month, and a very new girl commented in our team chat and goes, "Did we hit double yet?" And I was like, like I cried every day of the month in May because I was just like, so like, they just rallied. And I think that that's the culture, because when you make it not as much about you for so long, and then you make it about you for a hot minute, but at the same time you're helping so many other people hit their goals, it's just like, oh my god, okay, we really are doing this together.
And it's so true, and that can be applied to people who don't have a team under them yet too. And I'm sure you know have things to talk about that too. But I just want to say, like, if you're on this Zoom right now or you're watching and you don't have anybody underneath of you, go find the person just like you who wants that extra stuff. Okay, so like in your messages to these people, that's when you talk to them about what it can do for them. And then on your page, you talk about what you're excited for it to do for you and all the things when it comes to you know, I'm so excited to help one more mom or one more student pay off this debt, you know. And eventually people, like you said, are going to rally behind that because they, guys, people buy people. They want to see you be successful as much as you want them to be successful. So if you get just as excited about someone else making an extra $200 a month, then they're going to be excited about helping you make an extra $1,000 a month. It's just, that's how it works. So I mean, I'm sure like how like for newbies or people just joining where they're like, oh, I don't have a team. Like, how can you know, how do you motivate your newbies? How do you get them going and, you know, get them
we
excited about that?
we get them excited about the shopping spree first, and using the products, and just being able to finally taste the coffee and use the lash serum and just like really try the products. And then we get them excited about being in the 400 club, and really like that's a huge goal right there. And a lot of the way we're training our newbies is step by step, but also empowering them to push forward if they're comfortable. And we've found that by not throwing everything at them all at once, they're sticking around, and if they're going to run, they're running. We actually have a couple of our new girls on here, and they're going Ruby this month, and they've been around for like 2 months. Um, and if they're running, they're running, and they're signing their first couple of customers within their first couple days, and they're getting their shopping sprees quickly. And we're just like training them with empowerment and love and culture and booms. Like, we boom the crap out of everything, and especially in the band, like we boom potentials, we boom host to post, we boom distributors, we boom loyal customers, we boom like somebody getting their posts up for the day. Like, everything is a boom. And I think it's just like the culture and the excitement, and we don't shy our newbies away from other people's success. Like, we put them right into the big chats so that they're getting those like hype and movements. um and just knowing that, like, this is their first goal, this is their second goal. Okay, now you're in the 400 club. All right, girl, you're going Ruby. Like, let's find your people. We also have 30 days of posts that we have them. I don't know if you're in my band, but you can take them if you want them. But every day there's a product post and a life post. and sharing a story, and it gets them comfortable with posting about the business and the success. And then we start to work with them on like how you can write a life post, you know, talk about your day, talk about what this business is doing for you, talk about the fact that like, yeah, you haven't gotten a paycheck yet, but you are eligible for your shopping spree, or you got your shopping spree, or you just signed your first distributor, and you know what that means for you and what you're working towards and what your goals are, and just helping them identify that, and just really keeping them going, and just like the momentum of like keeping them going and keeping them pushing, and checking in on them every day. And hey, how you doing today? Okay, you're a little discouraged, all right, let's push past that, let's do this. And really just like pushing them forward. And you know, if they fall off, they're going to fall off, and we kind of can tell that within their first week. If not, they're going to keep coming back. And that, I had something else to say, but it literally just like, it's just gone.
My life, my literal life, that
Yeah,
happens to me all the time. But no, I love that. And it's so funny. Again, I feel like you just like, you're speaking to me like I've known you like the whole time I've been in the,
I know.
it's so crazy because I started, and I hate to make this all this about me, but I hope you guys are like getting these little like nuggets of goodness that I'm getting. And I'm relating everything you're saying to me. So I just want to say, I appreciate you
Well, it
again.
seems like we have a very similar.
Very similar. Yeah. And
Yeah.
but like I said, it's funny because so when I started, like I said, I've been in 5 years and I didn't do anything the first 8 months. Like I was the distributor, y'all, that nobody wanted to sign up. Like I was like, oh, I was that girl that literally was like, oh, I'm too busy. Like if you would have met me 5 years ago, I just wasn't the same person. Like my mindset was totally different. I carried myself differently. I looked at myself in the mirror different. I talked to people differently. I didn't talk to people like they were people, right? So these are all things I learned through the business, but y'all, it took me 9 months to do anything. And then I went Ruby not even 30 days after I was like, oh, okay, like let me actually try. And this was when Ruby wasn't what Ruby is now.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's funny because, you know, people are, guys, and that literally means it's never too late. It's never too late. If you're still paying for your website, then you can literally just pick it right back up and start working. If you say you're doing all the things, but you're not really getting anything out of it, find what you're missing. And a lot of times, y'all, it's personal development. I'll preach that till the day I die, I swear. If you're not doing personal development, you're only going to go as far as your mindset is. And unless you're like Allie and you grew up around network marketing, you're not going to know what kind of mindset you need to have, right? And I'm sure, like Allie even said, she has to still grow her mind.
And even growing up in this business, and I've seen the triumphs and the pitfalls, and like I've seen great success, and I've seen I've seen the dark side of network marketing. But if you're not, and it took me a long time to even open up to self-development, but what I tell my team is, if you're not signing consistently, you need to add personal development. If you're not signing consistently and you're doing personal development, you're not talking to enough people. Facts.
Yeah, facts. There's always one thing missing. All
Yep,
right.
it's just facts and science.
And I swear to God, y'all, if I hear one more person say, I've talked to everybody.
Nope.
Yes.
Then you're not adding more people.
Yeah, you need to be doing all the things, not just the things you feel like doing. If you're basing your day and your tasks of what you feel like doing, you're not going to go anywhere. You need to base your day and what you do off what you want.
Yep.
That's how
and what I also tell my team is, I know you guys are under Steph and Joel. Mm-hmm. So what I also tell my team is like, there are these people at the very, very top of the company that are still working their business every single day. They don't have to, okay? They don't have to. But it becomes, you know, you see the pictures of the diamond charts because it becomes about so much more than you. And you just need to get there, and you need to do the things every single day to get there. And it comes with time and consistency, and it becomes like a snowball. And the more you roll and the more you go and the more you push and the more you're consistent, you get there. But if you're not doing the things every day and you're just kind of picking here and picking there and I'll work tomorrow, then you're not going to get anywhere because you aren't not building up enough traction. And I felt that. I felt it firsthand when I wasn't working as hard last year, because then when I started to work, I was like, damn it, I'm back to square one. I have no potentials. I have nothing. And I was like, I I I'm a I'm a diamond. I have nothing. And I had to literally go back to square one and start messaging all over again and building my network all over again. And then I went into Facebook jail like every other day and Instagram jail.
Literally me
But
last night. I was blocked until like 30
yeah,
minutes today. It was so
literally. And but I kept going and I kept switching between the two platforms and trying to figure it out. And I just kept pushing, and I could have laid down, and I just kept going, because having been on the other side of it and seeing, damn it, I need to start this all over again even after I've come this far. I was like, all right, I'm not doing this again. And I think about that whenever I have a day where I'm just like, nope, nope. I didn't even message yesterday because I was so tired at the end of the month. And today has just been busy. So tomorrow I'm going to have to get up at 6 and do my self development earlier and spend a solid hour and a half messaging and adding, because I need to make up for it. And it's just like, because I need to plant those seeds.
And yeah, it's so true. But guys, also, like, if you feel like you're sitting on your phone all day and you're not getting anything, well, you're not being intentional. This is not something that you need to spend. Okay, so I work full time. I work 12-hour shifts, 3 to 4 days a week. I should not be spending a 12-hour day on my days off working this business, because it does not need that much. So like, I know, Allie, you said you don't really use Host to Post too much. Y'all, I love Host to Post. I get up 10 before I even go to work in the morning, and my business works for itself throughout the day. But like, it's because I'm intentional and I know what I need to do. And Allie gets it too. She wakes up earlier than she needs to. She does her thing. So then when she works her full-time job, her business works itself. And you pour into others, so they, you can trust into them to do all the things too. But the reason they know how to do those things is because they watched you do it.
Yep.
So a lot of
And
the
then
people, sorry, go ahead.
no, I'll write it down. Keep going.
A lot of the people, guys, that are going to join as distributors, they probably watched you for a long time. They probably watched you. Imagine how long you watched your enroller. I have a girl on my team who legit watched me for a year and a half before she signed up. So she saw me work my business consistently every single day for a year and a half. So I think I can leave her alone for a few hours a day and she can be left to her own resources. But the reason I'm confident is because I know that I've been an example and I've led the way that I need to. But again, if I wasn't being the distributor that I would want to enroll, she wouldn't know how to do all those things. You have to be intentional and disciplined and consistent, but not all day. It does not take all day.
You do not need to work this business all day. And I do work Host to Post probably more at the beginning of the month, because I have more energy then. I don't know, but I do it more. And Host to Post is great. Like, I try to do a Host to Post at night, so I wake up to potentials. And I try to, like, when I'm really in my Host to Post group, I try to get up like 4 or 5 Host to Posts at night so that I can then wake up to like all of the potentials. But going off of what you said, layered leadership is what we thrive off of in our team, because when we sign a newbie, we're putting the newbie in a chat with the ruby, the emerald, the diamond, and the enroller. If the enroller is one of them, of course, like it jiggers around, but I can trust that when I want to go to bed at 9 o'clock, 5 nights a week, and unplug, I know my team is taken care of, because I have hand trained every single leader by example and by empowering them to lead and learn to lead their teams. And we have newbies helping newbies because they're empowered to lead. So I mean, it's just, you have to be able to trust. And, you know, it really only takes 2 hours a day of intentional work. If you're intentional, and, you know, sometimes when I have crazy, crazy days, I'll set alarms if I like really need to, but 2 hours a day, that's it. You just have to be intentional. And I hate when people
Is that she uses the, what is it, the
pro-
task
productivity app.
productivity, that's what it's called. She uses a
Yeah,
productivity app, y'all. Jade Hooper.
yeah,
Like, come on. Does she
because
have
she
to
has,
work for business every day? No. But
but
she
she has 35 kids.
literally thousands of them, and she's
Yeah,
chomping on her food while sending us voice
yeah,
messages, and it's the greatest
yeah,
thing ever. But
yeah.
seriously, guys, it's so important to be intentional, and whatever you have to do to get intentional, do it. And like, I just keep thinking in the back of my head, like when you're talking, how like, in this, because this was me, is, you know, being like, oh, well, I don't have that kind of leadership in my team. Then go
Be
do
the
it.
leader.
Be the leader. And you're
Yep.
like, but then you're going to get this, oh, well, I'm too shy. Then stay down there. And you
Yep.
don't ever rise up again. Unless you are willing to step up and out of your own comfort zone, you're not allowed to complain about where you are.
Nope.
You have to
One
be
thing,
able to grow.
one thing I started doing is I now make all of my leaders go live in our team page once a week.
Love that.
And I'm looking right at my little Bailey there, and she is 18 years old, and she is working this business, and she's going Emerald this month probably. And she is so sweet and so shy. And I make her go live on our team page. Same with Steph. She has grown light years since she joined, and she's become the most amazing leader with her naked little towhead. And I make her go live once a week, because talking and just doing it empowers you, and it makes you step up more because you have people watching you. And that's what's important. It's just, you know, you have to be the leader. If you don't have the leadership, which nobody on my team can say they don't have leadership, because I am in their face constantly. But if you feel like you need more leadership, be that leader.
100%.
And if you've signed one, yeah, if you've signed one customer, you could sign 100, and you can tell people how to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that so much. I love it so much. So I appreciate you so much. It's almost time. I know Jade has a Zoom at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, can you just close us out real quick with just one little tip or just a piece of advice? I know it's the first of the month, so we're all super pumped and excited with everything going on. So I'm so happy you agreed to come and talk to us. I'm sorry I
This
was
was
4 minutes late, but
Oh my God, it's totally fine. I was just like, am I early?
you like texted me, you were like, who are we waiting on? And
Yeah.
I was like, me.
Oh
I was like, it's fine.
You know, there's so much negativity, and there's so much shit going on in this world right now. Choose to be the light. Choose to be a source of happiness and positivity and success and product results, and choose to be the good that people see on their newsfeed. You know, choose to not just share business and products, but happiness and joy, and show your face, smile every day, you know, be the light. And by doing that for others, you're going to do it for yourself. And just don't give up. You know, make a commitment to yourself. Like, screw everyone else. Just make a commitment to yourself that you're not going to let yourself down, and stick with it. And set a goal every month. And if you don't hit the goal, that's okay. Hit it next month.
Forward, yeah. Fail forward. So good.
Fail forward, always fail forward.
I love it. It's so good. Guys, create the light. Be the light. Happiness is not a destination. You create it inside of you. Becoming a leader. You have to become a leader. it's not a thing you achieve. You have to become it to feel that, right? Oh, I love it so much. Thank you again.
Oh, my
So
pleasure. This was amazing.
it was
Will you
so much fun.
will you send me the recording?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to
Yes.
put it on my YouTube for sure. But
Perfect.
yeah, all right. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys on
My pleasure.
Tuesday. Bye, everybody.